or so, where the effort is to have this European initiative to support at European level the work that is already being done by the national grid initiatives. There was a meeting last February in Germany, where I was there on representation on behalf of Vicente and of the thematic network of science in Spain, basically to, let's say, confirm the interest of the different groups and different national grid initiatives to launch a study to define this European grid initiative. This study has been proposed as a project in the last call for research infrastructures closed on 2nd of May. And the idea is that this will be a kind of a steering body of national grid initiative representatives for European grid coordination and decide what could be a sustainable framework for grid initiatives in Europe in a coordinated way. Gaspar was also there in this meeting, and there we received the information about what this EGI design study should cover: define the scope, functions, procedures of this European grid infrastructure body, including the setup of an EGI council, support the advancement of each national grid initiative, support the establishment of a European grid infrastructure body. So maybe for us that we don't have yet a consolidated national grid infrastructure, even if we have the previous experience of IBERGRID, it's quite interesting to know what the other national grid initiatives expect from us. In fact, there's an EGI design study consortium that is the core of this, the core of this initiative. There's this is the consortium that includes several countries. This consortium is the one that will take the leading role to prepare this, let's say, roadmap for the EGI initiative. And these are all the objectives. And I would say that the critical one is the first one, that is to ensure the long-term sustainability of the European infrastructure. And this is the same point that we want with the national grid infrastructure in Spain. So how to assure sustainability? This was also the objective of the last EISG meeting in April. We need to define a framework where this infrastructure is sustained not only by European projects or by funding from the ministry just on demand, as we are doing now a large effort to get this funding, but rather because it's, let's say, demanded by the users, as the network today. Okay? And so all these points, smaller points below, cover different subtopics that try to assure that this long-term sustainability will be reached in a natural way. So there was a consensus on the vision of this European grid infrastructure that is documented in a vision paper that is available from the web page I just posted before, and also that all national grid initiatives will have an involvement during the design project, and in particular we will be represented in an advisory board where we should, let's say, transmit what we think about how to reach this sustainability and the needs and requirements of our infrastructure, of our final application users, and of our middleware developers. And in fact, we sent, with the support of the ministry, a letter of support to this design project. Okay, so this is the framework at European level. What will happen now? This project hopefully will be approved in, let's say, by September or so. We'll start in January 2008, and it has 2 years, more or less. I think it was at the end 30 months, to define this roadmap. And with some overlap with EG3, it will assure that the transition to an European grid infrastructure, let's say, stable, will take place around 2010. What are, I think, our next steps here in Spain? Well, as you have heard now, we have now an initiative clearly defined, that is the call from Monday on thematic networks. Okay? We have a coordinator design. We have a base document that, as Vicente said, will be available in the web. We have some working groups. We have an NGI group that has not yet started to let's say, work. We were only in this preparatory meeting of EGI in February. We will be present in this advisory committee of EGI, And we have to learn from the work already done in IBERGRID. In particular, this conference is a clear step towards preparing this national grid initiative. And for me, it's a point now for reflection or inflection. So to reflect and think what we are doing well, what should we do better. So my main comment here is what evolution has been followed in other countries that already have a mature national grid initiative, like UK, where we had the occasion, some of us, to be there in the OGF meeting last week. In IBERGRID, we had experience on Monday from Paula. On the grid that we will hear today, on Hellas grid that you also heard about on Monday. So where should we put more initial effort? Should be on a coordination that will be covered by the automatic network at horizontal level, or rather vertical level, or through panels, through institutions? This we have to define, okay? Is the key point the selection of users and applications and giving them adequate support? Here I would really like to emphasize that we should be ambitious, okay? When you heard about, for example, supercomputing initiatives, they are really ambitious. There's a document that probably some of you know about the supercomputing requirements. As you may know, supercomputing has already, a supercomputing initiative in Europe has already reached, let's say, an acknowledgement as a future S3 infrastructure. And we have to learn to find real challenging applications that will have an impact in science and that cannot be reached with other infrastructures. Okay. Should we have a national grid service with our own infrastructure, as this is the case in UK? Should we try to solve problems that at some point were stopping us? For example, launching an infrastructure. Do we have now middleware that can incorporate both G-Lite support and Globus 4 support? We have an evolution here. We can say that this is possible today. Can we provide a scheme of interrelation with EGE and in general also with other initiatives like the latency computing, where we can, let's say, interrelate in a good agreement framework? Okay. So I would like to finish with one slide shown yesterday by Isabel on one of the projects that we have in common between Spain and Portugal. So I think we should start also from things that are already going on. We have clearly, for me, a large effort on EGE, where we have the Southwest Federation, for example. Already collaboration between Spain and Portugal. We have this other slide I'm showing here. Oh, sorry, I have the... Yeah. IBERGRID, that is also a common effort between Spain and Portugal. So, okay. So how to profit from this kind of experiences, IBERGRID or EGE? I can talk on the name of IBERGRID. So the key point is we have already teams working, collaborating. And the key point is that all these initiatives that we have in place have to be integrated in these national grid initiatives. They can give, both EGE, IBERGRID, ILA, should give or should rise kind of pre-release service to support applications. And the key point for me is to find really this support to challenging applications. So we need your collaboration to find these challenges. Thank you.